Eastern Conference playoff picture. We said we knew it for a couple months at least, right? Since the trade deadline, even before the All-Star break. We knew it was going to be these 8 teams, and this is how it looks. Panthers, Leafs, and Lightning in the Atlantic, and the Metropolitan, the Hurricanes, the Rangers, and the Penguins, and your wildcard teams, the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. Of course, those teams may move up a little bit, and just because that's how they may look 1 through 8, it's open to one's interpretation who the actual 8 best teams are. With that being said, it's time for Rate the 8. Stevie K kicks us off. Steve, in your estimation, who are the best to the worst?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start with the obvious one, and that's the first, and that's the Florida Panthers. They know they've been one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and they haven't slowed down. And they get behind in games, but they find ways to win games. In fact, I think they have the most comeback victories of any team this year. So Florida Panthers, obviously, number 1. New York Rangers have made a huge jump for me just in the last month. And that basically coincides with the trade deadline. You know, Andrew Kopp, the list, a number of guys that have really not only helped them, you know, settle things down on the ice, maybe been a little tougher, but they've really cut down their goals against. In fact, they've got the second best goals against average in the entire NHL right now. So like what they've done. The Toronto Maple Leafs, they can play any way you want, and it's normally a high-tempo game. They score a ton of goals. They're my number 3 team. A team that's slipping for me is Carolina. They're my number 4. They're still up there, and they're still leading in their division, but I'm a little concerned about them. But they've still got the pieces. Freddie Anderson is injured. Hopefully he's back sooner than later because that could be a problem. My number 5 team is the Washington Capitals. Really liked what they did against Colorado in Colorado just last night. They won a huge game there. They have shown me an awful lot, just a lot. Samsonov's been a lot better between the pipes. Tampa Bay Lightning, I've got slipping a little bit to 6. 3-3-2, their last 8 games, so 3 wins, 5 losses. I still think that they've got the guys in that room who know how to win in the playoffs, so I'm not terribly concerned about them, but I rank them 6. Number 7 is Boston. I know they're coming off a 3-game losing streak, but they've got a big game here tonight. I like what Bruce Cassidy has done. They're going to be a team to worry about if you get them in the first round of the playoffs. And I'm going to close out with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I know a lot of people are on their boat as far as if they make the playoffs, watch out for this team. I think they might be running out of a little bit of... there's your
list. It looks much better now, yeah.
All right.
So I got the Penguins number 8. I'd still be concerned about playing them in the playoffs, but without Tristan Jarry, and he should be back in time for the playoffs, I'd be a little concerned there too. But, that's my top 8.
To your point about Freddie Anderson, you know, often hear about a guy being day-to-day. Right now it's week-to-week when it comes to his injuries. So a little concerning there. You mentioned Jarry with Pittsburgh. I like the fact, Boulder, Lightning in 5th, 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion, not in your top 4. Perry, for you?
I got it, and obviously, let's just get the first one out of the way, Florida.
Yeah,
that's easy.
That's consensus.
10-0 in their last 10. This team does it all, so we'll just move on because everybody knows Florida's number 1. Second, I have Toronto. I like how they've been playing that next man up mentality without Austin Matthews. Now they've been winning without him. They've got some mojo going this year, and I truly think it's going to ride them right into the playoffs. Third, I like Carolina. I've always liked Carolina. The last couple of years, I feel like they're just going to make that next step. I am concerned. I am very concerned about the Freddie Anderson, obviously, especially if that goes into the playoffs. That one's very concerning. But I like Carolina. Then fourth, I have the New York Rangers. It's hard. It was hard for me not to put them higher. It's one of those teams that, like you said, that they've done so much this year. There's so much belief, but that's where they rank in that Eastern Conference. I like them in 4th right now. And then on the rise, I have Tampa Bay Lightning in 5th. I have them on the rise right now. They're down a little bit. They have struggled at times this year. They are still the Tampa Bay Lightning. John Cooper, I've got a ton of faith in John Cooper. They have won back-to-back Stanley Cups. They have Steven Stamkos. They have Kucherov. They have Hedman. They have Vasilevsky. They have all the tools in their toolbox is why they have on the rise. And if there is a team in the NHL that can flip it on and be ready for the playoffs and go on to win a Stanley Cup, it is the Tampa Bay Lightning. After the Lightning, I have the Penguins. I have them in 6th now because they are in 6th now and because I have a ton of faith in Mike Sullivan and Sidney Crosby. Those two I have so much trouble betting against. I like Pittsburgh, but they are trending down right now. They're struggling. They're fighting themselves. They really got to find a way to get something going before the playoffs. Washington, I love the way the Washington have been playing. Alex Ovechkin and his goal scoring. It's absolutely incredible at his age what he is doing now. And he's not necessarily scoring goals the same way he did before. He's getting grittier. He's kind of going into paying the price a little bit more to the uglier areas and scoring there now. And I just love the way he's been playing. Like you said, Connie, the Samsonov's been playing spectacular. I think they're on their way up. And I think the Bruins are in trouble right now. I think the Boston, with Pasta out, they got to find that special teams mojo. They've got to find something to get something going for the playoffs.
One of the big discrepancies here, I think, Steve, you had the Capitals at 4, did you not? And Brigham at 7.
I had the Capitals at 5.
At
yeah.
5, okay. So
and that's only over the last 3 weeks. I've really liked what they've done lately, and I was really concerned about their goaltending. I thought they should have addressed that at the trade deadline.
Right.
Brian McClellan decided not to, and it's been paying dividends because Samsonov, Sammy, as his teammates call him, Sammy's been real good lately.
All right, Perry, you mentioned the Lightning right now. Your team on the rise. Your team on the rise, New York Rangers. You have them at number 2 right now.
Yeah, you know, I just like, obviously, back-to-back shutouts, and that's outstanding. I think they've been playing better defensively, and I think that's real important heading into the playoffs. You know, you can score, and these guys can score goals. Can they keep the puck out of the net? Well, they have the last couple of games. Their goals against average now, I believe they're second in the entire NHL, which to me says a lot because playoff hockey is all about goals against. And if you can limit the other team and get your fair share of goals, you're going to win your fair share of games, too. And the other thing I like about them, they've scored 61 goals in the first period, 91 goals in the third period. So they get stronger as the game goes on. And as a result, they're, I think, second or third in the NHL in comeback victories. That shows me a team that never thinks they're out of it. And they play for their coach. And I know Gerard Gallant. I played with him in Detroit. He's just a great guy, and they're going to bust their hump for that guy. And that's what they're doing right now. And I could see that heading into the playoffs, too. So, yeah, that's my team right now that's really caught fire.
You mentioned those deadline acquisitions, Kopp and Vetrano specifically. The fact those guys could be top 6 guys. Lafreniere's playing better in the third line now. That's good signs right now for the New York Rangers. And Eastern Conference seem to be concerned about. You mentioned Pittsburgh. You love Mike Sullivan and Sidney Crosby, but untimely 4-game suspension there from Malkin. Really kind of, this team is stumbling right now.
Yeah, right then and there, that was an oh-no moment for the Pittsburgh Penguins. You need a guy like Gino in the lineup. Obviously, we know what he can do, but then you're forcing guys to play other positions. You've got your big gun out for your power play, so your special teams have to get a different look. So you're not your regular troop isn't out there, and then they've just kind of been fighting it too. And yes, I have faith that they're going to find a way and be playing better. Tristan Jarry out right now. There's just so many things that are against Pittsburgh. Again, it's so hard to bet against Sidney Crosby.
It's concerning.
But it is very concerning with how they're playing.
And I'm with Stevie K on Carolina. I mean, listen, if Freddie Anderson's not 100%, with respect to Antti Raanta, the rest of the team right now, they're just not coalescing at the right time. Jordan Staal, Kotkaniemi, and Freddie Anderson. A little bit concerning right now.
Yeah, it is. And they've been kind of scuffing it as a result. You know, a little under 500 over the last half dozen or so games, and, you know, losing to Detroit. And it just seems like Detroit always seems to have their number for whatever reason. But that's a team that, and I'm going to stick with them. I still think they're going to come out of the East. I think Carolina is going to come out of the East, and I'll put an asterisk beside that as long as Freddie Anderson is their goaltender. And if he isn't, you know, all bets are off. But they've had a fantastic season. You know, one of the best goals against average in the entire NHL. Rod Brind'Amour has them playing Brind'Amour-type hockey. Yeah. And that's what you want in the playoffs, you know, aggressive, relentless forecheck. And that's what they've done all year. They're going to amp it up in the playoffs. But, you know, that injury to Freddie Anderson, that could change a lot of things. So that would be my one concern with them.
You're calling Carolina coming out of the East for you? Who's your team to come out of the East?
Same team I picked last year to come out of the East, the Florida Panthers.
All right. Maybe they get
Hopefully it'll be even better than this year.
Well, I just hope we get another Panthers-Lightning playoff series. That 6-gamer a year ago. I hope that happens again.